Hey everyone, welcome to day 3 of the XD Daily Creative Challenge. My name is Melody, I am your host for the challenges. I am a freelance UI UX designer in the Bay Area and also host of the UI UX Adobe live streams. And I'm so excited to be here for challenge number 3. And a big hello to everyone joining us in the chat. Hi John, Johnny, Anna, Nicholas, Brett, Dan, Riaz, Tara. It's so great to have you all here. How's everyone doing? I've seen some of your projects so far on Discord and they all look so amazing, so awesome job everyone. And today the third challenge was revealed for our challenge. So if we head over to my screen, this is the Daily Creative Challenge landing page. So if you're just joining us and you want to sign up for this challenge, it's basically a 9-day challenge, and each day you'll get a new challenge prompt, and at the end you will have an awesome portfolio piece to put on your Behance with all of these projects. And we are doing a food delivery app for this round of the Daily Creative Challenge, and it's been really fun so far. So if you head over to this landing page, which is behance.net/challenge/xd, you can click this blue button. It'll be different if you haven't signed up yet. It'll just say register for the challenges, and when you register you'll get notifications every day with the challenge prompt. And then down here it just has a quick how it works section, so each day you'll get a new challenge and you can work on it and post your progress in our Discord channel, which I will show you in a second, and get feedback from our amazing XD community and our mentors. And and towards the end of our challenge, I'm gonna show you how to post all of your projects onto your Behance page and create a nice case study. So it's gonna be awesome. And so as you can see here, today is day 3 and it's been unlocked. And so today's challenge is to do a search and filter screen for your app, for your food delivery app. And if you click on this gray button, which says get started, you'll get this template that has some inspiration and things to help you get started. So it kind of looks like this. So once you click on it, you'll be on this Dropbox screen, and if you click download up here and direct download, you'll have the file ready for you. And let me hop over to Discord and show you quickly what our Discord channel looks like. It's really awesome. I haven't checked the numbers, but last time I checked we had 5,400 people, and it's amazing, and there's a lot of great people on here. So if we look over on the left, we have our different channels. We have feedback channels. The main one that we're going to be looking at for this challenge is called Design Feedback, and this is where you'll be posting your designs as you continue to work on them. And there are some amazing designs so far that I've been seeing, and I've been seeing so many of you giving other people feedback, and it's been really great to see. So thank you to everyone. Hi Sam. Sam Anderson is in the chat. Hi Adrian. Thank you. So we have all of these great people, and then if you look on the right, we have our mentors, Peter Del Tondo, Tim, Howard Pinsky is in there, Chris Cannon, and Marissa or Exopixel is also in there. And then we have our Adobe people, and then everyone else in the XD community. And yay, oh, thanks Jacob. So this is the Discord link if you haven't joined. If you head over to bit.ly/XD and make sure it's a capital X and capital D Discord, you can join our amazing Discord channel. And I hope to see you all in there and posting your designs. It's been really awesome. So let me hop over to XD, and I'm gonna start on challenge number 3, which is search and filter. And if you open the get started template, you will see this inspiration section that I created. I just grabbed screenshots from other food delivery apps to show what their filter section looks like and their search section. So this app is DoorDash, and I don't think they have a filter section because I tried to look for it and I couldn't find it. So they just have a search bar, or if they do have it, it's pretty hidden. And then this one is Uber Eats, and they have this little filter button. And then this one I believe is Caviar, and they have this, it's a little hard to see, but they have this filter icon and a little pop-up. So what I'm gonna be designing today is kind of inspired by this, because I thought it would be cool to do an overlay filter feature. So yay. Let's get started. So I kind of grabbed my previous, what I had on my previous artboards and just adapted it to the search screen. So I changed the title to search and then changed the color of the search bar to orange. And let me get started. So I'm going to turn on my layers panel, which is Command-Shift-apostrophe. And then I'm going to start with making a search bar. And then I'm also going to do that filter icon in XD so I can show you how to do that as well. And then I'm going to have my colors saved in my assets panel, which makes it really easy to remember the colors that I'm using, and I can just click on them from over here. And then I'm going to click on this circle in the upper corner and drag it and hold it and drag it down to create a pill shape for a search bar. And then I have the search icon in my components panel, so I can just drag this over and put it here and center it, and then I'm going to change this to an orange color. And then I'm going to do this square for that filter icon. And then if there's a keyboard shortcut for changing colors, if you push I on your keyboard, you'll have this little eyedropper, but you have to have the object selected already. And then you can click on the color you want. So I'm gonna put that here. I might move that later, but let me take off the layers so you can see. Hi, Angelique. Okay, so now I'm gonna, so we have this, and then let me quickly show you how I would do the icon. So I'm gonna add a border, oops, and change the border color to this orange. And I'm going to do 1.5 border width, and then to get that icon I'm going to do 3 lines and then make them also 1.5 width to match the border. Oh, Tim's saying you can reduce the opacity of the layout grid. Nice, thank you for that. I remember that, but I kind of forgot right now while I'm live, but thank you, Tim, for that reminder. And then I'm going to change this to orange. And then I might make this a little bit longer. And so I'm gonna do repeat grid to quickly get 3 lines and then drag this in so that they are 10 pixels apart. And then I'm gonna ungroup this and center it. And then once I have that, I'm gonna do those little dragging things that you saw on the icon that they had. So I'm gonna do that by creating a rectangle. And then taking off the border, and I'm also going to make this orange. Okay, there we go. It wasn't being centered. And then I'm going to round the corners a little bit. And once I have this, I'm going to hold Alt and drag it to the other lines like this. And so this is our filter icon. And so I'm going to highlight all of this, group it together, and make it into a component, just so I have it here in case I need to use it later on. And so I wanted to ask you all in the chat, what would you add on this screen? So what I'm imagining is when the user clicks or pushes the search icon from the homepage, they appear here, but I don't know what I should put here because I'm on the next screen, I'm gonna have them type in food category or restaurant, and I don't know what I should add here. So if you have any ideas of what I could add here later on, let me know. Tim is saying, could have included the rectangle in the repeat grid. Which rectangle? This one? Okay, so on this screen, I'm going to type in the word pizza because we're going to imagine that our user is searching for pizza. So I'm gonna do this. And then I have my component for my homepage, and I also updated it a little bit because I saw some people in the Discord saying, what would you do if the title of the restaurant was too long? And so I rearranged things so that if you have a long restaurant name, you can fit that up here. And then I added a dollar symbol to show how expensive the restaurant is. And then for the free delivery icon, since before I had a $ in here and then I wanted to have it over here for the price, I took off the $ and slightly rounded the corners of my hexagon to make it look a little nicer. So now that I have this component, I also want to resize it to match the layers, and maybe I can lower the opacity like Tim was suggesting. Yay! Nice. That's a lot better. So I want this to fit within these. So I'm just holding and dragging, and some of the things didn't move around like I had wanted. So I'm holding shift to have this remain on the same line. Then I'm gonna move this over here. And then I think, there we go. And then I might move this over here as well. Okay. So now that I have this component, I'm gonna do a repeat grid to bring it down. And that's a great thing about components, is that you can change them and they won't change the master one. Rawson is saying suggestions for food places based on previous orders. Ooh, that's a really good idea. So in this instance, the user is a return user, so maybe they can have their past orders on this screen. That's a really awesome idea. Thanks. So now that I have this, I am just gonna change some of the pictures by going to my Creative Cloud libraries. And I already have some pictures of pizza saved, so I'm just gonna drag and drop them, and we will imagine, oh, I need to send this to the back so that the menu isn't hidden, but we'll imagine that these are different restaurants. Wahib is saying maybe you can do trending, recent, or popular, or handpicked searches. Ooh, that's also a really good idea. Thank you. Okay, so now that I have this, I want the next screen to be when the user clicks this filter button, and I'm gonna do an overlay. So to do that, I'm gonna create a new artboard, but I'm gonna make it the size of the overlay that I want to slide up. So I'm just making a really small artboard, and then I'm gonna move it over so I can see it clearer. And now that I have my artboard, I'm gonna turn my layers on one more time, and I'll lower the opacity so it's easier to see. And what I'm gonna add on my filters is filtering by price. So maybe if the user wants cheaper options or maybe more expensive options, who knows? So I'm gonna do price. And then to have my price filters, I'm gonna do some circles. So I'm gonna push E, which is the keyboard shortcut for circles, and I'm holding shift to have a perfect circle shape. And then I'm gonna have that color be the same, like light orange color. And then I'm gonna use repeat grid, which is an awesome way to quickly make 3 circles. And then I'm gonna measure that with my layers right here, and then ungroup. And then I'm also gonna do dietary needs. And then for this, I'm gonna do some rectangles that will also be the same color as the circles up here. And taking off the border, and then I'm also gonna use repeat grid one more time because I love repeat grid and it's just so helpful. So I'm gonna drag it down as well because we're gonna have 4 options. And then I'm gonna ungroup this. And then at the bottom, I wanna have a call to action button. So maybe I can move these up a little. And so the call to action button is gonna be what the user presses after they select their filters. And you can add more filters, different filters in this, but for this example, I'm just gonna do 2. And this button will say view results. Okay, cool. So now I'm gonna add some $signs here. And then I'm gonna use that orange color. Sometimes it's hard to center like numbers or dollar signs within circles. But right now it seems to be working, which is nice. And so I'm just gonna do up to $3 signs, because I actually don't know any places that would have like $4 signs that deliver. I don't know, maybe there are some places that are that expensive. Okay, so I have these 3, and then for dietary needs, I'm gonna do vegetarian. And I saw, I forget who it was, but I saw someone that posted their design in Discord that included vegetarian and vegan icons, so I thought that was a really great idea. And so I am deciding to add that here, and I'm changing it to an orange text color. And then I'll do vegan. And then I want to have enough time to prototype, so I'm just gonna, let's pretend that these are different dietary needs. But I was imagining to put gluten-free and halal for the other options right there. So now that we have this overlay, I'm gonna make the next screen. So this is gonna be the screen that appears after they view their results. And I wanna add an indication to show them that their filters were applied. So I'm gonna copy this and then bring that here. And then since this is that light color, I want to change this to a dark color. And this is also the color that it's going to be once the user selects it. So I am jumping a little bit ahead, but I just wanted to add this here. And then I'm just going to copy this here to save the font size. And then I'm just going to say filters applied. And then maybe this can be a little smaller. Okay, so with the overlay, so what I wanted to do is to have the user click on this on the overlay and have it change into this color. But what I found, I tried to do 2 overlays on top of each other, and I found that it didn't work. It had like a weird lag when I was animating or doing auto animate. So I asked Sam Anderson, who is the XD master of hacking, and he helped me figure out how to hack it basically so that it can quickly change colors. And so what he showed me is to create a rectangle over this artboard and sending it to the back. And then I'm gonna copy all of this and group it together with that rectangle. And then copy this and actually I need to duplicate this. Okay, and then I'm gonna paste that here. Forgot to remove the border from the rectangle. Okay, so, and then I'm gonna change that to orange. And so I'm gonna go to prototype mode to kind of show how this overlay will pop up. So from this screen, the user, once they click on the search bar, they'll head over to this screen, and I'm just gonna do tap and auto animate. Maybe I'll do ease in for this screen. And then on this screen, they'll click on the filters icon, which will bring them to this. And for the action, I'm gonna do overlay. And then this is gonna show this green rectangle with an X, and this is where the overlay will be placed on this artboard. And I'm just gonna drag this down so it's above the menu, right there. And then on this screen, I'm gonna select this $sign and move it over here, but I'm gonna change the action to auto animate. And then I'm gonna do no easing and no duration. And then on this screen, so this will come up, and then I'm gonna go back to the design panel. William's saying he protects, he attacks, but more importantly, he hacks. Yes, that is true. Okay, so I'm gonna paste this here and hold shift and bring it down. So because when you have the overlay on your artboard, if you click anywhere outside of the overlay, it'll automatically close. But since we are hacking it, we need another way to show that it's leaving the artboard. So I'm gonna bring this down here and bring the opacity down. And then let me try and see how this is looking. Okay, so once they click view results, this will go to this screen. Oops, 2 seconds. Okay, let's try this and see how it's working. Okay, so I just noticed that I need to move this icon because I moved it on the next screen, so I'll have to go back and move that so it doesn't animate like that. So we have this, and then yay, it worked. But if you notice, the overlay kind of went down for a second, so I need to go back and adjust that. And those are the little tedious things that I like to do at the end after going through auto animate. So when we click this will highlight, and then if we click view results, it'll go down to the screen. Yay, it worked. It took me a while to figure out how to do that double overlay effect, but a big thanks to Sam who helped me figure that out with the hacking. So let's go through that one more time. And also I'm gonna make this scrollable by dragging this down to here, and then just wanna make sure that this menu is fixed position. And then, oh, this also needs to be a fixed position. So let's try that one more time. And then I will go back and change this. As you see, it kind of slides through, and that is not what we want, but it's okay. And then also another thing that I think I'll go back and add is maybe a drop shadow or something up here, because since the overlay is the same color as the background, it can be hard to tell the difference. So I will go back and change that. And I think once I'm done fixing these little things, I'll post this on Discord and you can all give me some feedback on how I can change it. And so I'm clicking on that and then viewing my results. And these are my results. And on the results page, I kind of want to play around with how this would change. I'll change the pizzas and the restaurants and everything. And as you can see on the other screens, I think I will go back and maybe add more dollar signs because on this screen they're all one. So yes, so I will go ahead and do that. But yeah, I'm glad this worked, because I don't know if this happens to you all watching, but if you want to try something and then it's not going how you planned, that's okay. It happens to me all the time, but you just have to try, ask for feedback, and that's why our Discord channel is really great, because there's people in there that know how to solve everything. And so, yay. And so this is the search and filter screens for today's challenge. We have about a minute left. Let me go back to Discord. So for all of you watching, if you are working on this challenge, even if you're not caught up, don't worry about it, it's okay. Take as long as you need. You don't have to finish it today or each challenge on each day. But please post what you've been working on Discord, and I'll be in there today giving feedback, and there's a bunch of other people in here giving feedback, and it's been really amazing to see. And so I look forward to seeing what you guys come up with for search and filter, and I'm gonna be adding some stuff to my design and also posting that on Discord. So yay, thank you everyone in the chat for joining me. Stay tuned, John and Danielle will be coming up in about 5 minutes to do some UX design on XD. So yay, I'll see you all tomorrow at 11:30. Bye everyone.